Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. Today's video is very exciting. We are going to be doing a how to apply makeup video. This is my friend Steph, and she is going to be my guinea pig for the day. And we kind of came up with this idea over the summertime because I was kind of teaching her how to do a smoky eye, and I would do one step, she would do the other. And then we thought, let's film it. That would be such a cool video idea. So we're doing this entire face, and as you can see, it pretty much turned out exactly the same on each side. So I'll do one step, she does the next step, and you can kind of see any questions that she has because you might have similar questions yourself. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I really hope that it's helpful. Please subscribe and let's get into it. What order do you do your makeup?
Foundation.
Foundation, like your face first and then you do your eye second? Okay, sounds good. Do you use a primer?
No.
No? Okay.
But I've used the Hourglass Veil.
Yeah, do you like it?
I do, but I don't know what it's supposed to do.
So, see, this is perfect.
Exactly.
This is perfect. Okay,
Exactly.
so a primer basically will help your foundation stick to it. Kind of like, say you have like either dry skin or oily skin, whatever, the foundation can slip off, or like say you have dry skin, it can like adhere to the dry patches. If you have oily skin, it will literally slip off your skin because your skin's so oily. So a primer like this is the Hourglass Veil Primer. This is something that is good for all skin types.
It's so soft.
It's so soft.
Oh my
this
goodness.
is like what I've been using lately. It basically helps your foundation to adhere to the primer and last on your face all day.
I really like it. I tried it for the first time and I was like, it's like clouds on my face.
And it
like
does
legitimately.
it has a little bit of SPF from what I remember because it almost looks purple when you put it on your skin, but and you won't see it later.
Now, do you recommend doing a moisturizer and a primer or one or the other?
Both. I would do moisturizer like when you do your skincare products. So like I'll do my moisturizer in the morning. Sometimes I forget. I have one around here somewhere just in case, but I think it's good to let your moisturizer kind of sink into your skin a little bit before doing your primer. You can play around with it too. It's all customizable to like what you like.
For foundation, I usually want something that it'll even out my skin tone, but I don't want it so heavy that it like my natural
and you can't see your skin through it.
So I want to just basically enhance what's there, not cover up.
Another trick that I like to do is to mix a moisturizer in with my foundation. And I've been doing that with my foundation, my concealer lately. I'm gonna grab just a moisturizer. This is the Sunday Riley Tidal Water Cream. You don't have to use this. I just have this here, and this is actually a little sample. And I'm going to mix it with the Dior Skin Forever foundation. This is in the shade 15, and I've been obsessed with this lately. This can cake up if you put too much on, but it has a really pretty finish. I'm gonna do the one half, you can do the other. Okay. Do you like to use a brush, sponge, or your fingers?
Brush.
A brush? Okay. Yep. She uses the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This too will also give you a fuller coverage because it's very dense. Right. I like that we're using some of your stuff too, so that it's like not just like what I use and what I recommend. It's like you can use what you have and do the same. This is the foundation, and I'm taking a little bit of moisturizer. I'm going to mix it together on the back of my hand.
Now when it comes to concealer is for those certain areas that are redder or a little bit harder to cover, correct?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay, so this is fun. I'm gonna dot one dot because it can get pretty full coverage. So I have all this on the back of my hand and just that much there. And I'm just going to, it's like a push drag. Okay. And if you push it up, it'll actually pull the hairs up on the face.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
See, I don't push drag. I usually just do circles.
Circles? You could try this and see how it works. Yeah. And if you like the circles better, then keep doing that. But see, I just grabbed a little bit more instead of like, a lot of times I find like even when I first started doing makeup, I took all the product and I dotted it all over. Even I feel like recently I've changed this. Like I'll just do one spot, blend it in, and then move on to the next, so that I'm not like over caking on product.
See, I do the dots all over. So that's a good tip.
You could try that instead, because then you might not need all that product.
Right, and that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it
gets too full.
Yep, and I've had a lot, and so one spot has a lot, and one spot doesn't have a lot, and I move it, but then it's like, you can tell that one side has a lot more than the other. Now when it comes to foundation, and you're never really going to find your exact color. It's never going to be 100%. Do you recommend if you're going to choose to go slightly lighter or slightly darker?
I think that's a preference.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, for me, I prefer to look darker personally. However, when I do my makeup, if I do wear something a little lighter, I know that I can put a ton of bronzer on and stuff. I'll let you go ahead and do the other side, and I will give you these.
So just put one dot on? Or multiple in one
I
spot?
do like one like big drag.
Okay.
Just to, yep, try working from there and whatever's left over, yep.
Okay, so we're gonna...
And then
push drag?
do it this way.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Like this?
And you can even pull back on your brush too if you want a little bit, so it's not too hard on your skin. But if you like it better, more like closer up to the bristles, then go for it.
And what do you mean by pull back?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. I like this. Hold further back.
Oh, okay. So it's not, you're not pushing as hard.
Right.
You're pushing softer when you're further out.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you mean by pull back? I like that. You know, I say that all the time and people are probably like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
Looking good, Louis. So you can use, I love this. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. Do you have concealer that you use or?
I don't.
No? Okay. I like this. It's a little bit more sheer. I love the formula of it. It's not too heavy or cakey. The Tarte Shape Tape is like something that everybody uses, but it is like, I said leg. It's like extremely full coverage. Like, so. Yeah. I only use this now if I mix it with some sort of cream or moisturizer. So we'll use this one today. I think it's gonna work the best.
Now, how do you get concealer to blend so it doesn't look like you just have spots where the red spots are?
So I'm gonna dot right where you need it to be. I like to take the tip of the Beauty Blender and I hold it right here. Oh, there's dog hair on it. Don't keep the dog hair. The reason why I hold it here, let me see your hand. If I hold it really close up, do you feel how hard that pressure is?
Yeah.
It can tend to take away the product. You hold it back here, feel how lightweight that is.
Yeah.
So you hold it back.
Blotting.
Yeah. And then as you do this, it will lightly blend it away and see how that, does that look good?
Yeah.
And if you want a fuller coverage, let me know, we can go with more. If you're applying makeup on a client right now, because I'm getting in this inner corner, I have her look over here. That way it's not bothering her. Where if I had her look towards where I'm applying, she's probably gonna like squint and blink and it'll irritate her. Now look the opposite way. Can access her outer corner. Give it a whirl while I text my fiance.
You're such a dork.
Beyonce, my fiance. Do you find it hard to access your under eye looking in the mirror?
Yes.
Take this, bring the mirror up here, and look up into it.
Yep, way easier. Totally.
You can actually see that area and it's not irritating your eye, because I think looking down, it kind of makes you want to blink.
Yep.
So this is the bougiest brush in the world, but it's the best brush in the world. Change your life though. It's amazing.
I don't know about that. I think a puppy would change my life.
So I'm gonna try the Bronze Goddess bronzer from Estee Lauder on her. Just like a one little.
A what?
I'm gonna tap off the excess.
Can you define what a is?
Little bit. And I'm just going to, I'm holding pretty far back. I feel like our tendencies to apply makeup is to grab it like here and apply it, but it'll actually look a lot better and a lot softer if you hold back here, and then you can always apply more product later instead of trying to like take away too much product.
Yeah.
So I like to start here, and I'm just kind of doing little oval circular motions. I guess that's two different things. Oval circular, ovular. Is that it?
Ovulate.
We're gonna make this ovary shape. I'm carrying it down, and I'm gonna go onto the cheek area like this.
Almost like a C.
I want to give it a whirl toots. Bronzing is more of like a broader area to look a little bit more like the sun has kissed your face, basically, or like you've been out in the sun. And then contouring is where you want to create shadows to create more of a structured or sculpted effect on the face. And that's one of the #1 questions that I get is like, what's the difference between bronzing and contouring? And can I use a bronzer for contouring and vice versa? And you really can. It's just when you contour, you want to use something matte and create a shadow, where bronzing, you probably want something either red or orangey that's gonna make you look like you've had a suntan. I'm gonna grab the Charlotte Tilbury Bronzing Glow palette. I'm gonna use the MAC 109 brush. You could use this for literally anything. I like to use it for contouring. The top of the ear to the corner of the mouth is the angle that you're gonna wanna go, and you don't wanna really go past the outer corner of the eyeball, because then it can get a little dramatic. I'll bring it down a little further, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it right in there. You don't wanna bring it too far down, and I'm holding back a little further, and I'm using that angle. And I'm putting the majority of the product in this area. I'm gonna go along her jawline here, and then I bring it down the neck a little bit. And then you can take a little bit on the sides of the temples here.
And then you tapped, correct?
Tap, or you can buff it in. So you're a little low, you wanna stay on that angle.
Okay, but
so it's
higher than the angle.
Yep, right, yeah. higher is better than lower.
And why is that?
If you put it too low, it can actually drag the face down instead of like lifting and sculpting. So that looks great.
Okay,
yeah.
And now a little bit down here.
I personally like to apply highlighter before I apply blush. For the longest time, I did it in reverse just because I think most people apply it that way. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You could do whatever the heck you want. I'm gonna use another Sigma F35 brush. It's my favorite brush for highlighter. Put it right on the tip. I like to feel where your bone is, and I can feel her orbital bone right here and right here. You don't want to highlight in here because that's going to make you look oily and greasy. So I literally take it on this C right here. If you want your cheekbones to look really lifted, do you like that effect? Do you want to make this look lifted, or do you like it to look more chiseled? Well, you've got a pretty like narrow face. I feel like I can feel very wide. So I contour right here and I keep my highlight in. But a lot of people want to lift that and make it look more like cat eye or cat face. You want to do that? Yeah. So on you, I'm gonna bring it back further. On Steph, we're gonna bring it back. And almost like a pinched V, where me, it'd be more like a small C. Do you hear me out of breath? I'm like dying over here.
What do you think?
Looks good.
Okay. You know what's funny is I never use a blush. I always just put bronzer on as my blush.
You could do that. You could do a bronzery blush even.
That's what I was thinking, like doing more of like a brown tone blush.
So this is Ambering Rose from MAC. We're gonna use this. And I have another bougie brush. This is the blush brush from Tom Ford. This applies a lot of freaking product. So I go boop. Do a rain dance. I feel like you can kind of customize this however you prefer. I don't like to bring mine too far in because then it makes my cheeks look really appley and round. I like mine to be very like whoosh, because I'm trying to create angles on my face. How about you? What do you like? Do you like more round appley cheeks, or do you like more chic cheeks, or do you just not think that hard about your blush?
I don't think that hard about my blush.
Okay. You can do sweeping, you can do little circles, and I kind of bring it back into the cheek a little bit, not too high up though. Just right there. And you don't want to apply too much right next to the nose, but just a nice little flush. Boop. Perfect. Oh yeah, wait, you forgot. There it is. Bring it a little higher up. There you go. Yeah. Let's see what you're looking like. Oh, you're so pretty. Do you ever do anything with brows or nah?
No.
I'm gonna use a clear brow gel from Anastasia. I find that a lot of people will take this and just use the tip of this, but then it gets like really globby and wet. You want to actually use the bristles, and I comb them up and then to the side.
Now, what does putting this do then?
It just kind of keeps them in place. And if they're wet, it's fine. It will dry.
I think I don't think about doing my brows because I don't even brush my hair.
So we're gonna do eyeshadow now. Do you use an eye primer at home?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use one that I think is more user friendly. I always use the Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. It is almost like a creamy paste. Any of the products that you put on, lay on nicer, go on more pigmented, and it gets rid of any like discoloration in the eye because it's like a coveragey kind of a product. But I don't find that it's user friendly because it can be kind of intimidating when you put it on. It's like, oh my God, that's like full coverage primer. So I'm gonna use something that's actually invisible, but I don't think I've used this on my channel since like my first couple videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. Doesn't have to be this one. It can be any other kind of primer, like Too Faced Shadow Insurance is like this, Urban Decay's primer potions are like this, NYX has primers like this. And I'm going to just dot, and then I just use my finger and I dot it in.
So this is basically dries clear but holds makeup.
Yep.
It's like, what, 4 years old?
Yeah, it's got a 12-month expiration date on it, but whatever. You know what, they should really put the date on there, because how are you supposed to know when you bought this? I guess if you forget, then it's too late. I like to set this with a powder because if you put an eyeshadow on a wet primer, it will pick up the most pigment right where you put that product, and then when you smear it around, it's going to be really hard to move it around because it's wet. So I'm going to use any kind of powder. It could be a sheer powder, it could be your face powder, which is what we're using, and just a fluffy brush. I'm picking up a little bit and I'm going to push this in on top of it. You can even use like an eyeshadow that's like your skin color or close to or something. Okay, so the color that we're going to use to kind of like transition the other shades is the color Birkin from Anastasia. It's one of my favorite shadows ever. This is a Smith 232 brush. It's a ginormous fluffy brush. I'm going to pick this up I did 4 taps and then I tapped it off. I'm gonna pull back here on the brush and just do little circles. So I'm going in this little archway here. Archway? I don't think I've ever called it an archway. The crevice. I'm not like spinning it on the surface. I'm kind of pushing it into the skin and it doesn't move off of the skin, if that makes sense. Like a mop. You push it in and then move it with the skin.
You're like blending while you're turning it.
Yep. And then I go backwards. Yep. And then keep your brow down. There you go. If you go to do your makeup and you go like this in the mirror, it'll move once you go normal because your eye isn't up that whole time.
Right.
You're doing a good job. And then in this area, try to do more circles.
What area?
In the inner area.
Oh.
There you go. Yep. I feel like in that area it's easier to kind of do swipes, but yeah, look at that, looks identical to my side. That color will help you with the rest of the colors. It might not seem like it's that big of a deal right now, but it helps with the other ones. And then we're gonna do
1 step darker.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna go into a Crown Pro C511 brush. This is like the exact same thing as a MAC 217. And I'm gonna grab the color Frappe from Makeup Geek. It is a warmer brown shade, and well, since mine has like a butthole, I'm gonna go 1, 2, tap, tap. I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but I'm gonna focus it mainly on the outer part. So circles, and I'm kind of on the lid now. I start in the crease and I kind of move it down, and I kind of do these little like pushing motions here on the outer part, and then in the crease I do the circles.
What does pushing do?
The pushing is gonna put all of the product here, and then it's gonna like naturally fade it into the inner part. So you kind of have that natural fade. So the most of the product is gonna be out here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, perfect with those flicking actions. Look at you go.
Look at the flick.
Yeah, look at the flick of the wrist.
See how this side looks? There's more up higher than this side.
So instead of adding the darker color, you wanna add the lighter color for that.
Do you think I should add any more dark color though?
You can add a little bit more on the lid, and you can even just kind of use it and kind of like pat on that area. Just like that, perfect.
Okay. Then you said use a little bit of the lighter.
A little bit of that, tap off the excess.
And do windshield wipers?
Yeah. And bring it, don't raise your brows. There you go. Tilt your chin up if you got it. There you go. It looks really nice and soft. This is like my favorite eyeshadow. This is Deep Damson from MAC. It is like a rich purple.
It's really pretty.
Freaking beautiful. With darker colors, sometimes it's easier to use a smaller brush than you think you might need to use, just because then you don't go overboard and bring it everywhere. I'm gonna use a pencil brush. I think this is the MAC 219. Every pencil brush is basically the same, just saying. I'm gonna take this on the pencil brush, and you can either swirl it on the tip or you can pat it in there, whatever way works best. And with everything, you wanna tap it off. We're not putting this in the crease. We have completed the crease. Now we're going to start doing the outer corner and like the lid area. So I'm going to bring this here, and at any point, if you need more precision with your brushes or anything, you can use your other fingers as like balancing points. I'm using my pinky so that it's easier for me to apply this. And I'm putting the tip where it has the majority of the product right where I want the darkest spot to be. And I'm dragging it. And I'm making kind of like an outer V. And I'm not flicking it up this way, I'm kind of flicking at an angle. So you've got that V starting like that, but the majority of the product is on the outer part. And you want to do that because it's going to help it fade. And then I'm flicking up and then on the lashes and then in between. And then with whatever's left on it, do like in between. Hold really far back on your brush and go right at the edge of that one that kind of went high.
Yeah.
And just kind of try to soften the outside edges of it. Nice. I'm gonna use the color Henna from Anastasia. This is kind of like a rose gold coppery shade. It's really pretty. So I'm just gonna use my finger. You can use any finger that you want. And I'm just going to pat this right on the lid.
Right in the center.
Right in the center. And then with one of your clean fingers, because now it looks like you've got this stripe on your eye, you use the other clean ones to kind of blend it.
Back and forth. I feel like I need more.
Could do that, and you can do more like pushing.
Oh, okay,
see if that there you go. That might help. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Nice. I'm going to use the color Mirage from Makeup Geek. It's gonna brighten up her inner lid. I'm gonna use this brush from Anastasia. It's the A3. It's like a flat shader brush. I'm gonna pick up a little bit like that. So I'm gonna bring this right here in the inner corner. I'm gonna push it in. I start
Out here? Or
right at the corner first, and you're going to make an angle that's in between these two areas. So it's gonna kind of go on this direction. So start at the very corner.
Right here.
In more, in more. Yep, right where that, yep, and kind of. So instead of dragging it that whole way, you want to flick it.
Okay.
Kind of like
so it makes it thin at the end.
Yeah, so I'll take some of that off real quick just so you can try that one again.
Oh, it's like perfect.
There you go. You can just use that reference point. So now when you drag from here inwards, sorry.
It's okay.
You're going to drag it to here. Don't start from the end.
Start from the middle. And drag it onto the lid.
An angle towards the lower, like into your lash. And it will help if you use your other fingers to balance if you need to. Mm-hmm. And also, utilizing the rest of the brush will help you create more of the shape, so it makes you do less work. So you can even try that again if you want and use more of that brush if it will help you. See how you got a thicker line there? And it kind of, you know, and now whatever's left over on your brush, fill in between. See how there's a space? Just go in and color that in. You can do little drags, yep, just like that. Perfect. What you want to do is tilt your head, and then you can get into that area
like
easier.
This? So am I starting inside, moving towards it?
Okay. And I do like a little drag.
Little strokes?
Because, try and move it. Come from this direction. Nope. Yep. Try coming from that direction. Does that help you?
Like a pretzel.
That wasn't me. It was the floor, I swear. Honestly, though, you did a really good job.
Well, thank you.
We have to do the under eye.
It never ends.
Okay, so for the under eye, it's gonna be really quick. I'm gonna grab that medium-sized brush, the medium color. I put it right on the tip of the brush. You're gonna go ahead and look straight up to the ceiling for me. Putting the tip right into the lashes and just moving it around. You can bring your mirror up so you can see what you're doing. Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, because it's the best.
It is.
And I'm hot. I'm gonna start in the corner here, and I'm gonna do, when you get to the Cupid's bow, you can rock like this. Kind of just do, 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 do. And you don't wanna go from the Cupid's bow down like this, because it's easy to mess it up. It's actually easier when you're here to go from the corner up. I don't know why, it's just easier. Get in there, and I'm not using the tip of it like this. I'm using it on an angle, and I'm utilizing that entire pencil to drag it from that corner down on the edge of the lip, and then I go here and fill that in there. Yep. Nice. And I'm feathering it in. You really want to get these corners here. Very nice. We're gonna use a liquid lipstick. This is the color Sauvage. It's from Dose of Colors. It's the collaboration that they did with Desi and Katie. So what you wanna do is wipe off the product. This is gonna go on like a mousse. I'll do the top lip if you wanna do the bottom lip.
Okay.
Very lightly fill it in. You can see they look very much the same. Go ahead and like look left to right. Beautiful, beautiful. So nice. I think you did a really great job.
Thank you.
You like it?
Good teacher. Yes, I do. I think it looks really pretty. I feel like every time I go to do my makeup, I will watch this video to remember specifically for myself what I need to do. I think that a lot of the questions I had were very simple, but once answered, they explained a lot of things that I didn't understand. Okay. I need somewhere to go tonight.
So that is everything for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this and that it was helpful. Leave your questions down below in the comment section. And if you want to see more videos like this, or if you want to see Stephanie back on here, let me know and thumbs up this video, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Do you ever just want to make love to the camera? You know, feeling yourself?
You want to show your cat?
Look at the little kitty cat.